Live. There we go. That didn't take very long. What's up, you guys? David Fox here, the Black Belt Realtor, with another episode of the Keeping It Real Estate Podcast. We got my man Jordan Bobbitt. Jordan, how we doing, brother?
Been better, but doing okay still.
What's going on, man? Is it?
Yeah,
Are we
just
gonna
the
talk
dog.
about?
No.
I see. I see. So not. That's. I apologize.
No, we had to put him down yesterday.
Put your dog down yesterday. I'm
It's
sorry
been rough,
about that.
but I mean,
It's been in the family for a year, or years, I should say.
Yeah.
So as long as I've known you, actually, I think you've had him, right?
Almost 7 years.
Yeah.
We've had him.
Pretty much as long as I've known you guys. And then our associate
boy.
associate broker, Jerry. How we doing, man? Good to see you.
That's me.
All right, so we have we're talking about maybe an eclectic group of things. This several articles we're going to get into, the Reddit rundowns, or the what's rapidly becoming the thread rundowns, as the case may be. But any tales from the trenches? I had a really unique one. You guys got anything crazy?
I was gonna say it's more funny than anything.
Yeah,
but it
I like
wasn't.
fun. I like funny.
I sent a what do you call it? Escrow release for occupancy. Sent it over for him to sign. They go, hey, it's 12 days, not 9. I'm like, I put 12 days, and I did the math for him to show it was 12 days. 5 minutes later, I got the signed doc back in my inbox.
So escrow release
Yeah.
is, explain that for people who don't understand
Yeah.
what you're talking about. For occupancy after they, after close. Like,
yeah, so the seller was staying there for 2 weeks, 12 days after close, and it was $25 a day for the 12 days. So 12 times 25, $300. That's how much the buyer gets.
Yep.
And so I mean it was pretty easy. But
Okay,
it was
they just didn't read the contract.
I
right?
was just like, "What's going on? Like this is cut and dry. What's the issue?" And
That
like I
happens,
said, I was
man.
I know. I was like I said, it was just this morning. That's why it was
I
a fresh
see.
thing. And like I said, it wasn't even tail to the trench.
I-
It was just more of something funny that I was just laughing at because. Like I said, I just got it signed back within 5 minutes after I sent the email.
Well,
It's like,
sure. Yeah,
oh,
because
yeah.
they just misread it, right? Or
Yeah,
didn't,
that's
or
it.
didn't read it, one or the other.
I do have one.
What you got?
Working with a client, showed multiple houses, and this was the guy was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the guy was.
You did?
No, it was Josh.
It was Josh.
I was gonna. Do you? And I don't mean.
Yeah,
to-
I
do you-
showed-
Do you,
yes,
do you
I
show
do.
houses? Okay, I didn't.
He's
I actually.
I just
actually
thought you
did a-
turned keys and
listen,
cash checks, bro. That's all I thought.
Whatever. So I just did a market analysis on a house Friday.
Yeah.
Friday.
I
Thank
should
you
say
very
that. I
much.
should say that we're sitting in the building that Jerry got us. Okay, so Jerry does work for a living. Just so you guys know, he doesn't just come on these podcasts for glamour shots. So tell us what happened. With Josh.
So Josh was working with this guy a couple of months now, and has sold him multiple homes. And it's not just showing. He would literally call and say, "Hey, I'm sitting in front of a house. I want to get inside right now."
No.
Yeah.
No.
Just very rude, inconsiderate.
Not a chance. Hang on.
And-
What's the ticket? That might change.
No. Like 150.
Oh, 150,
Not a
200.
Not a chance, bro.
But-
I'm sorry. No, because you're training them.
And
on how to
that's
Thank you.
what
Thank you.
we said. But when you're hungry, when you need money, it's a motivating factor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you're not doing anything, I hate jumping through hoops. In this instance, this guy was a jerk at best, and I hope he's listening.
Yeah.
I
I can tag him. What's his name? I'll send him the link.
If I remember, dude, if I remembered his name, I would.
It's Joe something. Right?
Joe Cook. There you go, Joe Cook. And Joe, if you are listening, you're a Wayne County Community College professor in Taylor. I'll even put that in there. So if somebody wants to tag him,
Oh my!
feel free.
We have
Okay.
Oh no, Joe!
So-
Please don't let Joe get on here. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna play moderator in addition
Joe
to switcher.
I
don't think he's-
So what happened? Then?
I don't think
What,
he's
what-
technically-
So-
I'm gonna guess it
all
didn't
right.
end well.
Well, it
Josh doesn't
didn't.
have
So he wanted to see this condo. Showed him the condo. Showed it to him twice. He wanted to write an offer. We wrote an offer on it.
In both
Was
times.
this the one that we saw that I saw?
No.
Is
It
that
was-
one?
it
That
was
one's
on
under
Riverside.
contract.
Yeah, it was on Riverside.
Yeah. Okay.
So
And
showed it.
both times Josh went and showed him these condos. It was just like he was saying earlier. It's
I'm sitting in front of the condo.
hey, I'm here. Can we see it? And he's like, okay, sure, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Second
No,
time.
no,
He's already
dude.
seen it once, and he does the
No.
same
Yeah.
thing again. Hey, I'm here. Can we see it again? I want to see it again.
So, old Joe,
Yeah.
you know, wrote an offer on it, and it was low. But I mean, hey, it's Joe's Joe, and so we got a counter on it, and it was a good counter.
Yeah.
And he said no to that, so it was agreed upon. You know what? Just let it sit and see what happens. Mother's Day. Let me say that again. Joe Cook from Wayne County Community College, professor.
Okay.
Wanted to see it Sunday morning at 9:30 and calls Josh at 9 o'clock. I want to go see it right now. Josh is like,
A third time?
a third time.
No.
A third time. But again, hey.
This is crazy.
Again, whatever. Josh said, hey, I'm sorry, but we've got church at 9:30. And then I got Mother's Day plans. Can I show it to you after 4 o'clock?
That's pretty reasonable.
I thought that was more than fair.
Yeah.
For
For a third time. It's not like it's the unicorn you've been looking for that just came on the market. You've seen this twice already.
Yeah.
Okay.
You already wrote an offer on it.
I forgot. I forgot about. Okay, so then what happened?
So he calls Josh a typical millennial that doesn't want to work,
Oh, dude.
and I'll go find somebody else to show it.
Yep.
and
That's
hung
me.
up on
That's
him.
me. Yep.
You
You better hope I release you out of the contract, bro.
So he goes to the condo. I take that back. He was already at the condo. And runs into another condo owner who happens to be a broker
Yeah,
in
but
the
that was
area
the
and a
second-
friend of mine.
That was the second showing, not the third.
This was the third. I'm positive. And so he makes a comment to that broker that he wants to start working with him now.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew who it was. I apologize, Jordan. You are.
That's what I was saying. It was the second.
So that was the second showing. After Josh already wrote the offer for him. So I called the broker because that broker gave him a card. And I'm like,
How did you find out that he spoke to that broker?
because he gave Josh the card of the broker.
At the showing, because it was the second time that they went and saw it. That's what I was saying. It was the
Yeah.
second showing. The guy was out there waiting for Josh to get there. The other agent happened to be he lives at the condo, so he was
He was
there,
like sitting there outside somewhere.
he was just like, oh,
in a common
do you want
area.
to see the condo? And the guy was like, well, I've got an agent, blah 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 blah.
So, anyways, so once that happened,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, whatever. So the third time comes. This is when he said something to Josh about not wanting, you're a millennial, typical millennial. You don't want to work.
Is Josh a millennial?
No, he called him a Gen Zer.
Or Gen Z or whatever.
Josh is not a millennial.
Look, I'll happily adopt you, bro. I thought you were a little young for the
Okay,
millennial-
so
for the
Yeah,
millennial.
sorry,
Gen Z.
sorry,
Yeah.
millennials. It was a Gen Zer that he was being derogatory towards, which I find comical because he's a college professor.
Which is
That you're going to call somebody out on their
you're talking
age.
your students. You're right.
Yeah,
That's
that
your
is.
students,
Yeah.
Well, he's older. I mean, he's 26.
Oh, he's
so, I
been
mean,
in.
you're
He's been there for a while.
Well, no, I'm talking Josh is 26, so he's
Oh.
5 years past even his college students.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
he's not,
And I
19.
find it comical because Josh was jumping through hoops for this moron.
That is more
Yeah.
like if I. Yeah.
I don't know any profession where this
The
guy-
He's not even talking about the best part. To me, the best part is so we're on.
Oh, I was going to get there.
Oh,
I was
go
going to
ahead,
get there.
go ahead.
Yeah. So this guy just has no character. So Josh tells me all this. Me, Jordan,
I can only imagine.
and Sherry, we're all in the car when he calls me. I'm kind of.
You call him.
Whatever. So yeah, because Josh called me. I was in a meeting, so I called him back, and he tells me what's going on. This guy doesn't want to talk to him now. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, no. So I said, what's his number? I'll call him. So I called, and God's honest truth, this is how it goes. And I said, hey Joe, I said, this is Jerry with Synergy Realty Group. I just got off the phone, and he was like, Jerry. All I should be hearing right now is, bye Joe. Bye, Joe. That's all I should be hearing. Bye, Joe. And hung up.
Yeah, he goes, you know how to say bye? He goes, bye. He goes, watch. Bye, Jerry. Click, and hung up. Like, that's
the
literally-
maturity of this professor at Wayne County Community College in Taylor, Joe Cook. Yeah. So I've invited Joe to come have a conversation, and Joe never called me back.
He was rude. I was in the car and
That
I was
is-
almost laughing.
that is like, dude, he might not be stable. Like that is really bizarre behavior.
Honestly,
that's very strange.
Yeah, and what's
behavior.
comical is I found him on LinkedIn, and he talks about being honest and integrity being his character. And I even quoted that when I emailed him back and let him know my thoughts about him.
Yeah,
That he might want to change his LinkedIn bio.
that's bizarre.
Yeah.
That's really strange behavior.
Well, what's funny is he even told Josh that something along the lines of he's tenured, so there's nothing anybody can do.
Yeah,
So he already knows. I mean, the game, and you could tell by his character what kind of guy he is. So,
that is crazy.
and I gave one reason. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
and one thing I want people to understand with this is I don't want to say this is the norm. It's not. Thank God. But in Joshua's example, think of the hours he spent with him,
Yeah,
showing him houses, the amount of money he spent on gas,
Yeah.
showing him places, to get nothing in the end.
yeah,
And people want to say that we're overpriced, and we don't earn our money.
yeah.
I don't know any other industry where you can run them ragged and not pay them anything until consummation of a deal.
I think that's the that's part of the importance of what I set off the thesis, right? Like is you have to kind of set proper expectations with your clients. Like, hey, I've got typically, if you want to see wherever, like I was out in Jackson this past, it was Sunday, right? But we had set that up 2 weeks ago, right? Like, and it's a good friend of the family. So like, she's like really cool, respectful, and she's cool. But I'm like, hey, I like the more notice you can give me. Like, there's zero chance you're gonna send me a listing at 8 a.m. on Sunday, and we're gonna get you in at Jackson or wherever. Like maybe, okay, maybe. But if it's a maybe, and if I do it, I will let you know it's out of the normally operating. I was able to make it happen because I had a spare window, and only the end. Like, this is it. We've struck out a few times. Like, if we've been on the hunt, like this was actually, I had the ones that are under contract now in Monroe. Like, it came on, it was a for sale by owner. It came on, I was like, yeah, it's pretty new on the market. It looks like what you're looking for. I'll call in and we'll see if we can get in tomorrow, right? Which is, that dude sounds like a real douche.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine conducting myself in such a way. I would be like, hey, dude, listen.
I'd be embarrassed.
I would listen, Jerry. Like I tried to set things up. I don't even know. It's almost undefensible. Honestly, I'm trying to think of like, I'm out in front. That's entitled, bro. You want to talk about generational stereotypes? Like, you're entitled.
Yeah.
The dude's a college professor. He's older. I don't know. He might,
I would say
60s.
But whatever.
Yeah,
like
early
pulling up
60s.
and hey, come meet me. No, dog. No, you can call anyone else. Call someone else who quote unquote wants to work, and let them drop all their other clients that they got working with. That's dude sounds like a tool. Yeah. What's he teach?
History and science.
Don't ask me how you get those two together, but
There you go.
Yeah.
Well,
You're at a community college. No,
But you're at. I don't want to dog.
sorry,
them out.
not.
I feel like there was some science in World War II that happened.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, some science experiments.
Clearly he didn't
science
learn.
experiments anyway. All right. Well, I do have a Tales from the Trenches. This was one that I was calling Jordan on. And this is something that I'll even say, like, to your guys.
Your broker?
Yeah, my broker. Yeah. Yeah, my broker. This is something because I had
A lockbox that you didn't know how to open.
yeah, dude.
Oh, okay. All right. This
No,
is Dave's Tales from the Trenches.
No, this was
He had a lockbox.
this was
He
a
didn't
freaking
know.
spin dial lockbox.
You know, like the lockbox you had in high
They give you the
school?
3 letters and it's like a spin dial. I was like, oh man, like you
haven't
could
seen
literally
it.
put.
It's like
that-
giving Dave a rotary phone.
I was like, I called Josh. I'm with my clients. I was like, yo, Josh. I feel like a freshman on my first day of high school. I don't know how to get my locker open, man. Like this thing. And he's like, oh, and I thought it was 3, 2, 1. I always get mixed
Yeah.
up. I thought you had to pass it 3 times. It's
3, 1, 0.
It's 2 1 right or 2.
You have to spin it 3 to reset,
3
and then you've
reset.
gotta- yeah.
Pass it twice, dude. I was like, okay, but that's a good lockbox. I mean,
Try doing that at night when there's
that'd
no
be
light.
tough. Yeah. Well, my favorite is like the Sentry locks
Yeah.
that are out in the country where there's no data, and I'm like,
Open-
my phone
There's-
is just
There's a trick to that one.
Yeah.
though. You just got to
Open up
download
the
it.
app.
No.
No.
Open up the app before you go, and then when
So,
you
like,
get there, it's still open.
Yeah, like you're on Wi-Fi right now. Just open
Interesting.
up your phone, go to Central Lock, and then you would just keep it open until you get like when I say open, I mean like in the background. Like it can be one of the
I
many
see. Okay.
in the background, but as long as it's open,
That's helpful. Yeah.
yeah, I learned that trick.
It's only happened a couple of times where I was like, this is gonna take a minute.
Yeah, yeah. I was. It happened to me once. I was out in Sumter somewhere, and I'm sitting in front of, and I'm with an older gentleman trying to get him into this house, and I'm sitting there waiting, and I start just walking around. We're on 10 acres out there, and I'm just walking with my phone up, trying to get service.
Jordan's out,
And I'm
like in the 90s,
you hear me now?
holding his phone up.
And I'm like,
somewhere.
dude, I'm sorry. Like, it needs service to get in. I can't get in without opening this app. And sure enough, finally, I hit one spot where it popped up 2 bars, stood there for 2 seconds, and then it hit. Quickly ran over and opened it. But yeah, then I found out when I went to a conference and I saw someone from Central Lock, like a booth, and I was like, hey, I'm having this issue. How do we fix it? And they're like, just open the app while you have service before you get there. It doesn't matter, even if you're, in the car
That's
and you
super
know,
helpful.
okay, I'm going
Yeah.
out to the country. Let me open Central Lock really quick,
Good
so
to
that
know.
way I don't have that
That's
problem.
great to know. So yeah, that was one Tales from the Trenches with the spin dial. The other one was we wrote working with clients. They got that launch program, that $20,000.
Oh, cool.
That's rain outside.
Is that rain?
That's rain outside.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
My car's getting wet. It's
Good
gonna
for-
melt.
Good for my arborvitae. That's okay.
Screw your
That's-
arborvitae.
Yeah, I'm happy about it.
It's
I
only
have
gonna be
to-
a 10 minutes. That sucks. 'Cause I know it looks really nice out.
They but you with that launch program, the $20,000 has to be tied
To a house.
to a house, right? So it's not like it's saved indefinitely
Yeah.
for you. So we find a house we like, good, too bad. So it's over in Taylor. We write an offer. Okay, we escalate up to $15,000 over asking because it was priced a little under market, and beating any written offer by $5,000. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, we beat
Or
it.
so we thought.
We beat it. we beat it. And I have the agent. She was really cool. And I was like, hey, can you just call me either way? Let me know if we lost it. It's fine. And she said, yep. The deciding factor was the other offer could close 2 weeks sooner. I was like, but they're giving up $5,000 for 2 weeks. And she's like, yeah, she's in financial duress. I said, what? What do you mean financial duress? Like, is she being chased by the mob? Because that's strange.
Yeah.
And this is why when we write escalations, like $2,000, people will leave 1,000, 2,000. That's not even enough to really get their attention, right? Most people. 5,000, maybe, depending on the ticket of the house, maybe 10,000, right? For them to like, if something's a certain deal, well, come to find out. And I was talking to Jordan. I was like, dude, is there any way like, what's the?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what
you
wanted.
Is there
I know
any
what you're
type of way? Because I was like, well, if she's so then I was like, well, if you're gonna give up $5,000 for 2 weeks, what if we came in with a cash offer, $10,000 under asking? And then I was like, is that legal? Can you do that? You're
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's legal. Like you could have Jerry buy it for under ask and sell it to your client for over ask, but like that's a lot of moving parts in a short time frame.
And it's not worth the risk.
That's
It's
the
the
thing.
risk, yeah.
The risk for reward on that. I'm like, wait, so I'm going to put up 130 to
Yeah.
make 150 minus my cost because
Yeah.
I still got to pay
Closing costs,
everything.
yeah.
I'm like, and then what happens if they don't? Whatever, right?
Yeah, now you
they
own
get
it,
into a
yeah.
bad argument. He was cheating. They want a divorce.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
whatever.
Yep,
Fill in
yeah.
your blank. Now I'm stuck with a house.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I'm good. Thanks.
But so long story short, young lady bought it 5 years ago, and they just lost it. And so, but like the bank, she had ample time to like not be
Yeah.
in this spot. Like it came down to the bank putting a notice on the door, and she like 2 days before that or something. She called her realtor and was like, "Hey, I need to sell. The bank's telling me to get out." Like,
Wait, so was this already sold at a sheriff's sale, or was she getting foreclosed on? And the sale was going to be happening like in 5 days.
it sounded like the sale was going to be happening. Really
you should have
short
told me,
period.
not called Jordan.
Yeah,
Well, no.
it sounded like even the listing agent was like, it sounded like she didn't give me full details. She said the bank's selling it. Sounded like a sheriff's sale. Like
Well,
happens
and
in
you'll
two-
see it in the tax base who owned the property. If the taxes still showed the seller as
So if I look it up in Realist,
yeah. If you look it up in Realist, it would have said, Dave Fox. Okay, so if that's the situation, you still own that house.
I think because she's still selling it, right?
You still can even if it's sold at sheriff's sale.
Well,
You've
right.
got
So,
6 months to
I
redeem
guess
it.
on a quick, I'll give you.
I got it. Yeah, you do
So
some talking.
while
I'm
Dave's doing
I'm
that,
gonna do some
so
typing.
in Michigan, you have what's called a 6-month redemption period after the sheriff's sale. So if you're in foreclosure, the bank puts red stickers on your door. You're getting foreclosed on. You're getting foreclosed on. Then they're going to tell you sheriff's sale is going to happen June 1st. Once the sheriff's sale happens, now they can delay sheriff sales if you ask, and sometimes they will if they think you're going to get out of this some way somehow. Long story short, a sheriff sale happens on June 1st. Whatever that dollar amount is on the sheriff sale is what has to be paid by the current homeowner. So if you have let's assume you bought the house for $250,000. You've lived in it for 5 years. You owe about $230,000. I'm just throwing numbers out. At the sheriff's sale, though, it only sells for, let's just say, $125,000 for whatever reason. That's not normal, but sometimes and occasionally it does happen. If it sells at the sheriff's sale for $125,000, guess how much the seller has to pay the bank? The original mortgage of $237,000 amount, or what's owed on it, or $125,000. Any takers? The answer is $125,000. That's all they have to pay back now.
So
and-
they could actually end up a little bit ahead.
Oh, absolutely. And you're never going to end up worse. You just don't. So if it sells for $125,000, here's the big caveat to that, and the big bonus for those that are in this situation. Wow.
So you might need to get them some water.
What the big part is nice with this is not only do you only have to pay back the $125,000, the loan now is paid in full.
Yeah, so it's not bankrupt. then,
Right?
yeah.
You're no longer don't have a bankruptcy on your credit report. Now you just have delinquent payments, but the loan shows paid in full. So you don't have to wait 7 years to go buy another house because you don't have a foreclosure.
Yeah,
on
you're
your-
not in foreclosure or prison.
right? Now you just have to get your credit fixed, which could take 6 months or maybe a year, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
And-
I'm not going to share it, but I am. So it'd be.
Yep, all the way up at the top. And who's the owner? Right there.
Individual.
Yep. There you go.
So they didn't sell at sheriff's.
So it
But
didn't sell
could've-
at sheriff's sale.
But it could have
If-
also been a foreclosure where they're just going to kick them out.
That's what it. Yeah.
So unfortunately, I don't know who the other agent was, and don't tell me online
Yeah.
or on air. The other agent probably didn't know their rules and laws of Michigan
Like
because
because it's a sheriff's sale, because they could have just done a typical foreclosure, and then the bank owns it and sells it that way.
well, that is a typical foreclosure. That's how it goes through. I mean, you go through a foreclosure process. The bank is foreclosing on you, and then it goes to the sheriff's sale.
Yeah, but you don't always have to go to the sheriff's sale.
unless you do what's called redemption, cash for keys.
Well,
And you're
sure.
signing, and then you're signing over a piece of paper that says, "I don't want my redemption period," and for that, the banks will pay you. And some banks will pay you because they don't want to wait another 6 months, and they don't want you to damage it. So they look at this, hey, this is good for both of us, right?
Yeah.
Move out, we'll give you $5,000. Move out, we'll give you $10,000.
Well, it's better than the squatters' rights and taking the full time. A lot of people don't realize, like, they think that they miss one payment and then they're getting kicked out of their house.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of
It's almost a
you need
year.
a long string of like. You need a long string of being. Now your credit's going to get dinged if you're missing.
Oh, you will.
payments and
But
then-
in Michigan, it typically takes
Yeah.
from the beginning to the end almost a year, because most
to foreclose on you.
well, most people don't. The most banks, when I say most people, sorry, most banks don't start a foreclosure your first, second, or third month, right?
Wow.
Because you're just late. You're
Yeah,
delinquent.
yeah.
They start the foreclosure on the third or fourth month.
Yeah.
Well, in Michigan, it takes 2 or 3 months to get foreclosed on.
Sure.
So you've got 6 months now,
Jeez.
right? So now you're 6 months into this, no payments. Then you've got the redemption period. By law, they have to give
Yeah.
you another 6 months to come up with the money.
Yeah. Holy.
So
cow.
you've got
That's-
a year.
That's a long time.
And that's why I tell
Yeah.
people you've got a year before a bank can really kick you out.
Well, this was a young lady. But the funny thing is she will not be foreclosed on, and she'll be walking away. I saw what she bought it for. She'll be walking away with money, So and she's she's moving in with her boyfriend. But well, let's get into some tales of the trenches here. I'm not sure why I opened this one. I don't really know. That looks like a bucket of crabs one. So I'm going to share this one that we have over here on Threads, and we're going to screen share right here. Fantastic. All right. Yeah, I know you can't see it,
No, you can't.
but I sent it to you. Buying a home in 2026 is a lifestyle purchase, not an investment. In most markets, renting is the financially superior move. The people telling you otherwise, your realtor gets 2.5%, your mortgage broker gets a check at closing. Nobody in that conversation is neutral, and this is coming from a real estate investor. Scale with Sing. So
wait.
I'm also going to look at him, and he helps I find and manage cash flowing rentals for busy professionals.
Yeah.
And business
Thank you.
and business owners.
Yeah. So talking about a neutral party.
He's a neutral party.
That's
Yeah.
so fun.
Don't
Yeah.
buy rent from me.
Yeah, that's
Well,
rich.
that's-
Let me buy and
It's-
take more money.
it's like
from
we
you.
were
None
talking-
of them are neutral, and I will agree. Here's what I will say.
I disagree with him,
I disagree with his premise, right?
and I disagree
But
with this commission right
to say, yeah. So do I. Bias. To think that our commission plays any role in me advising you. Do you know how many people I have talked out of buying a house?
Do you know how many people I literally have talked myself out of hundreds of thousands of dollars in commissions.
I've talked to somebody and we just did the basic math, right? Like that, which we'll get to later in the video. I was like, wait, you make how much? I was like, yeah. Why don't you just rent? Well, I want to own a home. Yeah, I'm sure you do. But honey, Jada broke. Like you can't afford a house, right? Like I'm telling you right now, like as sucky as renting may feel right now, like it's
the best thing.
45% of your take. I don't even know how you're getting approved for this. Okay, like that's and then let's say something goes wrong, water heater, roof, shit, whatever, rain, and like that's tough.
I just talked to a friend of mine out of it. She's going through, it was a horrible divorce. She's like, I got to sell my house. And they lived on the water. And I'm like, why do you
Where
have to
at?
sell? Gibraltar. And I said, why? And she's like, unfortunately, we're going through a divorce. And I'm like, well, that sucks. I said, but why do you have to move? I said, you guys have been there for like 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can't afford to stay. I'm like, you can't afford to move.
Oh yeah, what's their mortgage?
It was
$800.
low. That was it. And I said, how much does he want? And she told me the dollar amount. And I said, so refinance the house.
Yeah.
Get
Oh,
that
she
out.
was trying to cash him out.
She was just going to
Yeah,
cash
just
him out.
refi. Yeah, absolutely.
And I said, she's like, I can do that. I'm like, yeah, you can do that. I'm like, I'd love to
Yeah.
sell the house, but
Yeah.
bad move for you.
oh,
Seriously.
terrible. Thousands of dollars to swing every month.
And she even
Absolutely.
said, she's like, thank you so much. She's like, that's why I called you. I knew you'd just be honest with me. I'm like,
yeah.
listen to me. And this is what makes a career realtor, right? None of my agents can come back to me, or not my agents. None of my clients can ever come back to me, or agents can come back to me and say, oh, Jerry screwed me.
Yeah.
He just did this for a paycheck.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, yeah.
and I'm just not going to do that. It's not who I am. I've always told people, listen, I'm not in sales.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to try to sell you junk.
Yeah.
I'm really not. Go in like the house. I'm going to tell you the pros, the cons, that I see with it. If you like it, great. If you don't, let's go to the next one.
I have sales gets a bad rap. I got a really dude. She got heated. I was cool.
Laughing.
I was cool. Yeah, bro. This lady sells mortgages. If I gave you her name, we had a squabble at the gym, and I was like, here, just write up the terms how you like. I gave her a pen and a paper. Watching her, my daughter's 5th grader at their private school could have written up a better agreement. I was like, that's it. That's it. I was like, don't you?
Oh, yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
don't you want the name on there? Oh yeah.
Don't you wanna date it?
I was like, yeah. It's almost like I write purchase agreements, eh? Yeah. And she's like, you're just a salesman. You're a realtor. I was like, sales is knowing and hearing what you want and need,
Yep.
and seeing if I can meet that. So case in kind of tales from the trenches. As clients I'm working with, I gotta. They make too much money for that launch program. I was trying to get that, but they are dinks, right? Dual income, no kids, but they like to spend their money on experiences. So it's not you can't have your cake and eat it too,
Right.
So you're like, they like to go on motorcycle trips and go to Traverse and wine and dine, which is fine, bro. Like,
That's it.
spend it.
That's your desire.
Get it how
Yeah.
you live it, right? But then, like, don't you understand. You just make trade-offs, right? You don't make decisions. You make trade-offs. So what you're trading off is now, and their landlord is like, they're in pretty cheap. I want to say, from memory, it's like $1,100 a month, right? But pretty cheap.
Yeah,
right?
it's cheap.
Yeah, for a house, but it's dilapidated. It's falling apart. He's not really fixing anything. Months to get back to him with anything like that.
Hence why it's
And-
1,100.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I was like, okay. And then they're like, they're like looking at houses, and they're in, they're picky. That's the other thing. They're picky, right? So like their budget for
At
what
1,100. Listen, if it's got 4 walls and a roof.
no.
they have-
So for their $2,000 mortgage or whatever it would be, like they're like, I want it to be this, and be here, have this, and so they're
Yeah,
looking
no.
at mid to high twos, and they're like, well, going from spending $1,100 a month to $2,000 a month. I was like, no, this house is not overpriced. I mean, this is fairly clearly. How many homes have you missed out on? How many homes have you written like literally went to go see and now they're under contract? So you're at a discount where you live. You're paying for it, but then you're also quite literally eating and drinking the difference, right? So there comes a point at what are those experiences? And I can't sit here in good faith and be like, you should, if we could do the whole compound interest if you had invested 800.
Yeah.
Okay, but what if you die at 45, dog? That's
Right.
again, it's
You do you.
it's trade-offs, right? So just understand. And I even told him that. I said, like, we had a long conversation because I showed him dozens of houses, dude. I was like, I guess it comes down to lifestyle. Like, what do you guys want? Like, he's like, well, I want to do. I said, how much do you spend? And at one point, I taught he had a huge diesel, and I like just in our conversations, I was like, how much does that truck cost? And he's like, yeah, too much. But he's like, I like trucks. And then like 2 weeks later, he had sold it and bought like a little, like a Civic.
Volkswagen?
Yeah, Volkswagen. Yeah. And I was like, well, there you go. That's a step in the right direction. You saved $500 a month on that.
No, more than that.
Plus
tax,
gas. Plus gas.
insurance,
Yeah.
everything
so,
else too.
and it was like a big one. I just, but you're having those conversations, and I've been working with them now for almost 2 years, But it's
we're in it for the money.
Not actively. We're not actively like
Yeah.
it's a season and that. But there's I know it's gonna happen one day. Either that it's enough's gonna be enough, that something's gonna happen in the house, the landlord's not gonna tend to it, or the landlord is going to like, hey, it's time to sell, so you can buy this hellhole, or you can get out, and then you're gonna be face to face looking down the barrel of the market. And you're going to be looking at the market 6 years down the road, begging for the market of 2026.
Yeah, I just had that happen. I have a condo buyer. I was showing him houses pre-COVID. I've known this guy. I met him at the gym years ago. Pre-COVID.
But he's not been working with them steadily.
No.
It's just one of those.
it was
No,
one
I'm
of
just
those-
thinking
yeah.
like imagine looking at houses. Imagine how much more house you could have bought.
Oh, with
We
the
were
interest
looking.
rates at
crazy.
three?
I'm go look at the prices. We were looking at a condo, and I bet you that condo is probably close to almost 300 now. We looked at it when it was like 150. And like I said, and the insurance and the interest rates. I mean, yeah, if you look, there's some places that have almost doubled, in like 7-8 years. But yeah, so I showed it to him, or I was showing him condos years ago. He's starting to look again now, and he's just like, dude, this is crazy. How, I make good money. I work at Ford, or one of the big three. And he's like, I make good money, and he's like, I feel like I can't afford anything. He's like, I give, all this money to taxes and tax this, tax that. Cause we were talking about, the taxes are going to be $7,000 a year for what he's looking at. And so
The American people are taxed far too much.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like if you go,
Amen.
if you go through start to finish, like it.
I just Googled
You
it this
are
past week.
robbed at every turning point.
Oh,
if
yeah,
you're
I just-
a W-2 employee.
I
for
just
sure.
I just Googled it. How much do Americans actually pay?
Probably 70%.
No, it said around 35. And I would think that's about.
you have to remember that
Everything is taxed, though.
Yeah, but you have to
Sales
remember
tax,
40%
road
of-
tax,
Yeah.
insurance tax, taxes, insurance. You buy a house, you're paying property tax plus the taxes
yeah,
on the
but
sale tax.
40% of the people don't pay a dime in federal tax.
40% of which people?
The American
American.
people.
American taxpayers.
They don't pay federal tax?
Zero.
Oh, for the
40%.
exemption? It's because they get the standard exemption?
Because
Because they don't make enough money.
they claim on their income tax,
As we
or they
said,
just don't file.
Yeah, as we said earlier,
it's 40%.
Jalen broke.
So how can 60? I mean, and that's what's happening, right? 60% of the people, taxpayers,
Again, federal taxes.
federal income tax,
Federal income taxes.
40%.
Do you need it? What's the threshold to be paying into federal income tax?
Well, clearly 40% aren't making it, or they're finding loopholes. And it's not. Trust me, at 40%, it's not your ultra
Yeah,
rich,
30,
right?
Yeah.
37% is the exact. So if anybody says, no, it's not 40, it's 30, there, it's 37%, 40% essentially. But yeah.
So he's feeling the
Yeah,
squeeze.
so he was like, dude, you know what? And he's like, man, he's like, maybe I should just wait. And I'm like, wait.
You're just kicking that can down the
I
road,
said,
bro.
do you remember what we were just talking about with, when we looked at homes 7 years ago? That's what I said, I want you to think now in 7 years, what's going to happen?
The crash is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's when you lose your job.
Don't you know the crash is coming? I mean, like everyone online is saying that. I can't. I don't know, dude. Like it's.
I do want to see
That's
or
tough.
say something. You know, we just got a new Federal Reserve
What do you mean?
president,
President.
chairman. Sorry.
Sorry, I was
I mean,
really
I'm
confused.
not at. I
So
was like, we got
well,
a second one now?
we're talking about
That's
interest
great.
rates
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
market. It'll be interesting to see with the new Fed chair.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of research on him. You know,
He's ultra rich, comes from a big family, Rothschild.
Yeah, Rothschild. Yeah.
he's also all the people that say Trump's anti-Semitic. He is of Jewish descent. Yeah,
Who
he's
says
Jewish.
Who says Trump is anti-Semitic?
Oh, they're do your research. Check
How-
it.
I've seen the complete opposite.
Yeah.
I've seen-
I don't listen to any of it, bro.
So-
I don't listen to any of it.
only the complete opposite. I mean, how
Harvard graduate, came from a rich family, married into a richer family. He is like a billionaire.
I'm still trying to get off where
But-
you said that people don't say that Trump
I
is.
mean, I can find it if you want.
There's multiple.
So it's going to be interesting because he feels that the Fed should not hold a lot of the national debt with mortgages and stuff. So they're saying he's probably going to start selling some of that off to reduce liability. But in so doing, rates are
Are they high sixes now? Mid high.
mid to low sixes.
Yeah.
So rates are tied to the 10-year, and they said the 10-year, because he's dumping off, may rise a little bit. So interest rates may rise with what he's going to do. So it'll be interesting to see.
I
on
think you know what I have seen, and this is maybe an aside, but you mentioned Jordan. You mentioned like wait for the crash, and then then you lose your job. I think that's what a lot of people don't recognize. And I'm seeing I'm seeing a lot of restructuring with corporations. Now I have no experience in corporate America, but I was in a B&I group. I'll probably go back. It was I'd recommend it. But they let me count 1, 2, 3, 4 individuals. All right, 4 individuals, corporate America, either them or their spouse lost their job.
Yeah.
Like one of them was a headhunter.
There's
Right? Like one of them was like a COO of like a big like medical, and they're just they're restructuring. AI is coming, and and they're like, well, hang on, I'm paying this person $200,000 just to run some spreadsheets. Can Claude or Codex or whoever do the same thing? And I'm like, man, and we feel that we're all self-employed, right? And you kind of feel the pressure of like the sentiment is you have to work harder to make the same or a little bit less money than in years past, right? That's what I've heard.
Agree.
But I'd still rather be in control of like that, being having my destiny tied to like the corporations like that, and those W-2 guys. There's a lot of perks to it, but that is the myth of job security. It's a myth. It's a myth of job security. It's not.
At least here in Michigan, right? It's a right to work state.
It's
They
a
can fire you for any
myth,
reason.
bro. Like unless you're Joe Cook and have tenure at the at the county college, right? Like it's a myth of job security, and I think that is I don't know what the answer is for the American people, right? Like what I can say is if you can afford to, with parameters outlined later in the show, so stay tuned. Like if you can afford to, buy a house sooner than later, right? Because you're going to build that you're going to build that equity in it. But if you can't afford to, if I was starting over and I was like, let's say I'm working at McDonald's, bro, I would rent a house with like 3 or 4 of my boys. That's what I would do.
I've always said
That's
that.
what I would do.
Well,
Like,
that's what I
or
did.
brothers, right?
Oh, that's what I did. I mean,
Yeah.
twice. For 2 or 3 years combined. I
want to be independent. You can't afford to be independent.
I've even said it. Even
not,
like,
not you. I'm sorry. I'm looking at you.
and I even say that like with I see, and I'm not trying to dog homeless people, but I see them and I'm like, man, I can't ever fathom, thank God, honestly, being homeless, because I'm gonna get with like 3 or 4 of my boys and be like, all right, hey, we all work at McDonald's. We're all making $15 an hour, right?
Yeah.
We're all let's all of us combine our money,
Chip and pulling.
and we can now live at least, right? Now we've got a roof over our head. Yeah, it's only a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom, but I'll sleep on a couch. Heck, better than being homeless.
This is interesting. So part of that is my brother Paul. He's still in the jewelry industry, and one of his guys did like a street interview. Like he wrote a book. I have to pull up what it's called, but he went around interviewing people on the street around here, like eight in Greenfield, and like they could get. They're not. I mean, sure, there's part of it. Some of it's addiction and mental health things, but a lot of it is just like the pirate mentality of no, I reject the system. Right, I reject the premise that I have to go to and be at a certain place on a certain day. At least I'm homeless. I know at any point in time they know where to get a hot meal. They know exactly where to go to get a hot meal and a bed. Right, they can whenever they choose, and their day looks like whatever their day. Now they're limited because they don't have a whole lot of money, right? But I'm just gonna sit there, and you've seen brothers sitting at that 96 exchange, like. They all got a phone and cigarettes. Like, I don't know how, but they're just like, sitting there like whatever. And they may not be flexing it, but and that was the sentiment of like, they just reject the entire system of like, go to work to show up to being in the rat race to hustle to earn coin. Now, it's something I don't get, but well, let me rephrase. I get the wanting to reject the system. I disagree with I'm not going to go with the technique they've elected, right?
Yeah.
But like,
I guess to me, it's like, I understand what you're saying, but okay, then beat the system.
Yeah.
And I
Also,
think it's a mentality.
That's a lot of steady work for years,
But sure, but at the end of the day,
yeah,
I mean,
I know.
I mean, my high school friends laugh. They call me the poster child of why grades did not count in high school.
Dude, they don't even.
I was a solid 1.4.
I don't. Were you?
Dude,
Wow.
1.7 was a good
Did
time
you
for me.
try?
Yeah.
Because I have to talk about that. I was talking with the drains, and they're like, "Oh, they're grades." I was like, "Yeah, but is he trying?" He's like, "No." I was like, "Well, who cares?" Look, I fail at everything I don't try at
Here's
as
the
well.
funny part.
Like, who
Here's the funny part.
cares?
I mean, I was in, we moved to Ohio in 82-ish, when Lee Iacocca was in charge of Chrysler. And in Taylor schools, I was a 3.0. 3.0, never took a book home.
There you go.
Moved to Ohio, and I was like 1.2. And my dad even had to hire me a private tutor that came to the house like 3 days a week.
But what would you struggle with?
Every subject.
Yeah?
I mean, it was every subject. They were just, I don't know if they were just teaching at because you have to remember, everything is based off of a foundation, right?
Yeah,
I don't care what
yeah.
it is, whether it's math, science, English, whatever. And I was just so far behind in every category you could think of. And I was taking every book home every day. I mean, my locker didn't even have a lock on it because I was taking all my stuff home, trying to catch up. I think by the time I graduated, I might have been a 2.2.
He had a really nice award for participation.
Yeah. The boys like laughing me on that, but whatever.
It's not really a participation trophy, but it says he got an award for effort. So
Yeah.
so-
Hey, you know what? Sometimes that's
It's a
the only, that's the
participation
only thing you
trophy.
can control, though.
Hey, you know what? I've always said, because I've coached multiple things, I would much rather take a halfway decent player,
Of course.
that's got heart and is going to
effort.
give me effort,
Yeah.
than the talented kid that's just going to be lazy, cry, and complain.
I firmly agree. So I'm gonna bring this back to this this thread. I'm just reading some of these threads here. So we've got, let me see here. To that same comment, why are you? He says, don't buy a home, whatever. Why are you investing in real estate if being the owner isn't profitable from the tenants who rent your places, right? And there are many ways to invest in real estate that don't require buying a single family and renting it to a tenant. Dude, okay, like.
So we avoided the answer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's saying-
if you're trying to do multifamily or homes or apartments or whatever.
Yeah.
That's out of here. Moving on to the next one. Here we go. This is a real. Our buddy Dave Ramsey, the mutual favorite. I don't mind Dave. Let me get him on here.
He's indifferent to me.
He's a take him or leave him.
The other thing, because we talked about what I don't like about him, is his con with real estate agents. He talks about don't pay for anything, don't pay for anything up front, don't pay for something, and that's exactly what he does with his real estate agents. So they wanted me to become
His
a
real estate agent.
yeah. So
He's
they
on a
wanted me to
program.
be one of his,
Partners.
partner preferred agents on his website.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. So they call me and they're like, oh, we've done this, we've done that, and we just want to see if you'd be interested. I'm like, sure, I'll
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
Brandon, why not? Right? Are you going to want a percentage of my deals? What is it? Oh no, it's like $5,000 up front, then $500 a month, and then a 30% referral fee.
Wow.
I'm like, you guys are smoking crack. I'm like,
Any guarantee?
no.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, if there was a guarantee, and you're like, we're guaranteeing to get you X in X days, but if there's no guarantee.
Listen, there's never a guarantee, and that's what I always have with all these companies that want money up front. I would much rather just pay you a referral fee when I close on the deal, and a higher rate, right? Than pay you something up front that I'm not guaranteed on ever closing on a simple or any deal. So
let's bring it back. Let's see if I can start, young man here. Can I hear him? Is the real question.
No.
Rule number 2 is when
Yeah.
I'm gonna refresh it. Yeah, hang on. I gotta, because these reels start automatically.
Yeah.
And then it's all right. Here we go.
all rules we use. Rule number 1 is to be debt free, which you are. Rule number 2 is when you make your down payment, you need.
My Wi-Fi's. I'm doing.
I'm wondering if Dave's
Rules we
debt-free.
use. Rule number 1 is to be debt free, which you are. Rule number
Dave. I think so.
Well, he's got that $40 million mansion.
I think that's what he bragged. No, I think his whole shtick is his entire estate is. What's the address? We can look it up. We could.
2 is when
forewarn
you
him.
make your down payment, you need to retain enough
You'll
to
get
call
caught.
your emergency fund, which is 3 to 6 months of household
Agree.
expenses. The third thing is never take out more than a 15-year fixed rate, where the payment is more than a fourth of your take-home pay. That's the max.
Disagree.
Yeah.
So that is that. Listen, if you can swing all of those, dude, you're in a great spot. But the payment it's not double. The payment's not double to cut your
No,
life loan in half, but it's probably 25% more.
But here's a better way to do this, and this is what I always recommend to my clients. Do a 30-year, right? Make 2 extra payments a year. You're still going to cut it down to like 17 years. And you're not stressing yourself now.
Yeah.
If for whatever reason in years
2
4 or
extra
5,
payments.
yeah, that'll cut it down to about
Is that
17.
how that math works?
Yeah. So if you do that, you'll pay it down in like 17 years, and you're not stressing yourself, right? If for whatever reason,
Hang on. So,
are you going to question my math?
I'm just I wasn't.
until I did my 2.
I wasn't
All right.
until you told me. I'm just playing with you. No, your math is good. That's why I was surprised.
No, but seriously, it'll cut it down to like 17, maybe 17 and a half years.
I guess
Another
it
way to
would,
do it
yeah.
is to do a bi-monthly or bi-week. Yeah,
that I've heard. Yeah, by
Because I used to do that.
yes,
And some banks will allow you to do that.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're making that extra payment up because you're paying more payments.
right.
2, you're paying it off earlier because you have to remember it's compounded, right? So if you're paying it off every other week, you're paying it off a little bit faster than you would if you're paying it off every month. That's another way to get it cut down to like 15 years. And you're not getting stressed. And what I was going to say is, if for whatever reason in year 2, 4, 5, 7, something financially happens or something physically happens, in Dave's scenario, you're stuck with that. You're stuck with that higher payment of 25%, right? In my scenario, if you're disciplined, back to being disciplined, if you're disciplined in doing it, you still get the same benefit, but you're not going to be as stressed doing it.
Here's a couple of comments, and I love reading the rage comments because it's, I always try to eat the meat and spit out the bones with somebody, right? Like if I make, like you said, if I agree using, oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Jerry's trying to talk smack because I eat like a civilized human being.
Even a hamburger,
especially hamburger.
He doesn't even eat ribs.
I do, fork and knife. All right, so Christy Smith, Texas realtor, says, seriously, sorry, Dave, 15-year mortgage is not even close to realistic for most Americans. The Texas market would be tough, though, bro. I mean, what's the average price?
Well,
$500,000 now? Yeah, so
I was saying they're
probably in your circle, but not for everyone else. Not when home prices have skyrocketed over the last 5 years. Honey, are you a realtor? Like, what interest rates are double? College tuition is just not, well, college tuition is.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, for
Joe's got to make his money.
85% of
Joe needs his money.
Yeah, who's Joe? Oh yeah. Oh, who's Joe? I was like, who the frick's Joe? Like, Joe Cook. At the college. Yeah, I mean, this guy speaks for the rich. No one making 60, 80 grand a year can save $50K for a down payment on a $300K house, which is still less than average, while also agreeing to. I don't know why regular people even look this guy's way.
This goes back to the misconception that you need 20%, because if you just realize he said 50 at 300.
Thank you.
You don't.
And now he would like you. Yeah, you know what? Here, he may continue. I think he talks about
20%.
Yeah.
You can qualify for almost twice that much, but that doesn't mean you need to be that stupid. Don't do that. Keep it conservative so you can get the house paid off in less than 15 years. That's the goal. Then the last thing is, if you can figure it out, make a down payment of 20% or more.
If you can figure it out. But here's what I will say. The second human nature is people will do more to avoid pain than they will to reap reward. Grasping the landscape of where we're at. Like, picture it as a treadmill, right? There were people guaranteed in 2000 who were like, yo, paying $100,000 for a house is crazy. When $100,000, I paid $30,000. Well, you're on a treadmill. If you understand that you're on a treadmill moving backwards, like a moving sidewalk, if you and your money stay put, right, everything will continue to go up. Look at an inflation chart since, was it 1903 when the Federal Reserve was founded? Which is a private bank, not a government bank, right? like look at everything else, and it has skyrocketed, and it has continued to skyrocket. So you can say yes if you can afford it, but also we're assuming. So let's just say you get in and your payments, I don't know, $2,500 a month. Okay, all things equal, or what? Does that sound low to you? Does that sound low?
I've never had a $2,500 house payment.
Yeah, well,
the highest I've ever had was like $1,250, $1,500.
Including
taxes and insurance.
So you have. Here's what I'll be. Don't worry, guys. I got this. I got this. I'll handle Jerry.
Yeah,
okay.
Put me in my place.
I'll handle. Well, no, but you have reaped the benefit of real estate because you started with a starter home, right? And you use that as your bargaining chip. So you get into one house and with following these principles on a home that you can afford, and then lo and behold, you look up in 7 years, you got this magic thing called equity in your house. And guess what you can do with that equity? You can put that as a down payment on whatever house you buy next, and then because your income has increased over time with the American economy, because everyone's income has risen over the past 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. And then you have more equity in that house. So the more equity that you can put now, if you pull that, if along the time you're refinancing and pulling out the equity out of your house to buy RVs and dumb shit, then it's gonna bite you backwards. But that's a testament to the equity, the magic of equity, right? So
you don't advise if I'm getting like an extra 50 grand off the sale of my home, I'm buying another home and I've got about 50 extra, I shouldn't go buy like a camper and some golf carts and
What I love about real estate is it's a forced savings account, especially a primary. It's a forced savings account, right?
Tax-free.
Tax free, right? Up to $500,000 for a married couple, $250,000 for an
which
individual.
we were just talking about
I'm
that
trying.
yesterday.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
to get
No,
that.
I really am trying. I talked to a local politician lately, and I just like, dude, this is ridiculous. That 500,000 has not gone up in 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be bumped up a little, and I guess there is some talk and legislation about raising it to
Yeah.
a minimum of $1 million.
Yeah.
Which I think
yeah.
even $1 million I think is too low.
Yeah.
For a married couple.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So that is Did you have something to add to that, Jordan? You were talking about.
Oh, yeah, I was just-
PMI.
No. I was just talking to him about we saw a post yesterday about how it hasn't been increased, and that's one reason why people aren't selling their homes.
Maybe part of it.
Well, no, they're 29% of people.
I mean, you think about
Or
it. If,
20. I'd have to go back. And
if you've got $1 million
was
house
29%
and you're only
or
writing
something.
off a $500,000 of it, that means I got to pay.
You're getting waxed. Yeah.
I'm getting waxed on a $500,000. I'm not going to pay the government $200,000. That's crazy.
Yeah. Just sit
No.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's compounding my interest right now anyway. so I'll wait. Thank you very much.
Valid. This is a funny reel. You guys will like this one. This is real, but I'm only bringing this up to share the principle. This does remind me of Christmas time, though.
I said
Oh, I should have just let it run. It's a short reel.
I'm not afraid anymore. I said I'm not afraid anymore. Do you hear me? I'm not afraid anymore.
That's a good meme. So when interest rates dropped, they're like, oh yeah, let's all come out of the woodwork and start buying stuff. And I remember talking to you. I remember talking to you about this at before I was licensed. It was it might have been, I don't know. It might have been 2020 or 2021. I was like, hey dude, how's the temperature on the market, whatever. You know, prices, I think I remember saying prices seem pretty high. You're like, dude, look at the payment. Like look at the payment. Look at what your payment would be. You know, on a $300,000 house at 3%, what do you really want? You know, so and they tend to teeter totter, right? Not always, but it's that was I think. Well, even at that time, people were complaining about the prices of 2020.
They've always complained.
Yeah.
Nobody is.
No one's been like, this is acceptable.
I mean, only in 06, 07, 08 did people like, oh, okay. But then prices were acceptable. But guess what? Nobody was employed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was mistaken. It was 29 million, not 29%. So big difference.
29 million.
29 million households
Yeah.
already exceeding the capital gains.
Which is a ton. That's a lot of housing.
And that's where
I
people
don't know
are
how many there is in Michigan though, because
Yeah, I mean,
housing is cheaper here, right? In Texas, California, sure,
Yeah.
of course, absolutely. But I mean, where are you finding $1 million houses?
Well, you have to remember it's only 250 if you're a single person. So if
Yeah,
maybe
that makes a difference.
my husband or wife
Oh.
died, I'm single.
How does that work?
That I don't know.
Jerry,
I don't know.
Yeah, how did that?
That's
was
a good. That's a good
that was
accounting
my next-
question.
That was
Call my accountant and ask him.
Oh,
Because if you're single, it's only 250.
oh, I
Yeah,
didn't.
because
even
I did
think
ask my accountant
that.
about that, and I'm like, that's like at least $500,000. I'm like, he's like, let me worry about that part. And I'm like, yeah. How about we worry about it now? Because I don't want you to come back and be like, oh, okay, I couldn't
I
work
didn't
my
even think about that.
my
Yeah,
my
'cause
pencil
if
wasn't that
if
sharp.
someone
Sorry.
Well, and how does that work? Like, I guess adding someone on is easy, right? If you're single, then you add them on to the property.
Well, no, you can't do it that quick. I mean, no, because then that's their one-time write-off. This is only allowed one time,
What?
according to IRS guidelines. You only get one gift. You can only use that one time.
Say, what do you
The
mean?
gift,
What?
you-
What?
The no tax on your profits of $500,000. You can only do that once in a lifetime.
Oh, that's not good. What? What? Hold on.
No.
No,
You're talk-
I don't think
Yeah.
that's. Is that the case?
No, I can sell my home.
No. One time you can sell your house, right, and not pay taxes on it. One time.
God, that's not what you said originally. That's why it was confusing. But I don't even think that.
Hold up.
So let's assume you gave me a house.
No, well.
Okay, I got a house for free,
Yeah.
and I sell it for $500,000.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to pay taxes on it.
Yeah.
I don't have to, right? Because I got that one time $500,000.
Yeah.
But I can't go buy another house, make another $500,000, make $1 million on it, right?
Yeah.
And use it again. The government does.
But if you're buying the house, you can do it multiple times?
No.
One time.
Yeah, you're only allowed a one-time write-off of $500,000.
That's not good.
That's why when you buy and sell, you don't have to pay taxes on the equity
So
because you're reinvesting.
When we sold our house in South Lyon,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the equity, we didn't pay taxes on
Correct,
it.
because you reinvested
But
it.
if we sell now, any profit on the sale of this
If
house
you don't
is-
plan on buying another one, right, you have to pay taxes on that profit.
so if you buy another one,
Correct.
Oh, I see.
That's what I'm saying. You can keep reinvesting and reinvesting. And that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
That money's tax-free.
I got it. Okay.
But
Yeah,
once,
yeah.
if Sherry and I are to the
Interesting.
point where we're like, you know what, we're done. We're just going to
We're
go
just
to a
gonna
little
rent a condo.
rental. Yeah, do whatever.
Interesting. I didn't realize that. See, I learned something on this. I learned something on our own podcast. So I didn't realize it was contingent upon buying another.
Yeah, as long as you're buying another house, that's why I always say, as long as you're buying another house,
Yeah, so the
you're not paying
second,
taxes
the
on
second
it.
that dude, my neighbors then got waxed. Like they did fine.
And it's on the profits, right?
Profit.
So,
Sure. I mean,
And this is where, okay, so I bought my house for $500,000. It's worth $1 million. But, within the last, 3 to 5 years, whatever the tax rule is, I reinvested into my house with a roof and windows and concrete and
Yeah.
kitchen and bathrooms, $300,000. So
Oh.
now my profit is only,
Oh.
Better have the receipts though.
yeah, I better have the receipts.
I can get you some receipts. Okay.
Yeah, trust me. There's a
The
receipt.
li- the
There's a
like-
receipt maker on Google I can find. Trust me.
Now you
The
sound
like-
like Richard Taylor
The
with
likelihood-
the proof of funds.
Well,
maker.
that's a little different, right? Is the proof of funds generator in his name?
No. So, and this is where
That's
Now
Let's
we're
go
going
back
to
now.
Richard Taylor.
Well, I'm
Swift.
just saying.
So
yeah. Living
it's a
right
hard
where-
money, and that's where the
It's a line
confusion
of credit.
lies.
It's a
It's
line.
not a pre-approval. He says again, this dude is ignorant. If you listen to him, you're a clown. Like he doesn't know what he's talking about. He calls it a proof of funds generator. All it is he's got to go to the website, plug in the numbers. Okay, here's what the offer is. Here's what how many repairs it needs, and then it's going to say yes, this property qualifies. Here's your quote unquote pre-approval. Now, of course, there's still stipulations in there, like they've got to make sure that you're not lying, and they're going to.
What I'm curious. What is it? Proof. What's it called?
Oh, I
Proof
don't remember.
of funds generator. Evan, we'll do it live. I'm curious because free proof of funds, private lend, that can't be it. No, I'm not going to sponsored and getting double clicked on their pixels. Proof of funds require double close. Yeah, it's double close. I see. That's
Yeah,
so
like I said,
yeah,
it's
double
there's
close.
it's a bunch of different scams and
Transactional.
stuff.
Close. So it is, but it is proof of funds.
It in a way,
But it's not his.
but it's not like-
it's
it's not like you can just go
Not
and
if
say
you're putting an offer on my deal,
Yeah.
on my house.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
not
that's true.
happening.
yeah. Well,
Seriously, I think then that's where a competent real estate agent needs to come in to play. Because if you
curious
come in
what it looks like.
with that pre-approval on an offer on one of my listings,
yeah. Well,
I can't say what my seller's going to do, but I can tell you what my professional opinion is going to
Yeah,
be to my
because
client.
so this is and here, fam. Let's check it out. We're gonna do it. This is what we're talking about. So this is, and it's called double close fat. So get. In the jewelry industry, there was these guys that we just coined weasels. They had none of their own money, and I'm not. It sounds like Richard's done. I wouldn't accuse him of being dumb, right?
He's not dumb.
I would accuse him of being a grifter. They had none of their own money. They would take something on consignment. Give me your Rolex. Okay, what do you want? What's your must-have price on this? $5,000. Okay, and then they'd go shopping around everywhere. The building, 8 in Greenfield, whatever. They would just go hustle, and they would walk around with this thing, this whatever. Everything's on consignment.
So somebody gave them their Rolex, and let's just assume
On
it's just a
consignment,
Rolex.
yeah, on
And I'm going to
consignment.
let you have my $5,000 minimum
All
because
the
that's
time.
about what you're going to get
All
on a
the time,
Rolex is
yeah.
$5,000. But
On a Rolex, it depends on the Rolex. I mean, you have $100,000.
no, I said
said
minimum. minimum $5,000 on a Rolex.
I mean, I get
With a case and-
yeah, I mean, box and papers and
Yeah.
things, but like, yeah, I mean, they would consign stuff all the time, diamonds.
But what I'm just saying is, I'm surprised people let them have it.
Yeah,
on a
well,
consignment.
have you been to the building at 8 in Greenfield? They call it the Plaza, the Greenfield Plaza. Oh, that thing's like ancient frickin' Egypt in that place. Like it's they do it a lot.
Yeah.
And now you have to now there are people know it's a tight knit community, and they know don't give him anything, right? Don't give it now. But it would come in handy because we would take stuff on consignment too. Like I'm not gonna put out $100,000 for this parcel of Millie diamonds or whatever, but I do want to go show it to my buyer. I don't want to introduce you to my buyer
Right.
because then I get cut out of the deal, but I also don't want to put this out. So giving a consignment for this long. Now, how many times did they get robbed? I mean, I think if that's kind of old world justice. Like if they're not really calling the cops, they're sending people to your house. They know where you live and things. So, but that is kind of what this is. This proof of funds generator is I'm connecting a seller and a buyer, and I need fast money from whoever these guys are who create. It's kind of a cool deal for them. But to Jerry's point, so you want to buy my house and you have $0 of your own. So who's the end buyer? Because I want to talk to them, right? Is that what you were getting at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't like wholesalers, period. And this is what I've always said. Not that I don't like wholesalers. If that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. Get your license and be held to the same standards. Richard, and we're just using him as the example, doesn't live in Michigan, never stepped foot in Michigan, yet does multiple deals in Michigan. When he screws somebody like he has a million times, who are you going to call?
Have we caught him? I want to be fair. Okay. I'm not a fan of his. Has he actually defrauded anyone yet?
Yeah, because I've asked him what happens when you do your mortgage
Trust.
your trust and your mortgage takeovers. What happens when they don't? Oh, well, that doesn't happen too often.
What happens? When
Admitting that it happens, and then my follow-up question was, okay, you said it doesn't happen that often, but what happens when it does? And he goes, well, that sucks to be them.
That was his answer?
That was his answer on live. That sucks. Yeah, and that's my point.
That's tough.
There
That's
is
tough.
nothing you can tell me that guy is an ethical person. Is he dumb? No, he's not dumb. He's good at screwing people over.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what I think is funny is the same people following him are the same people complaining about, I'll just use an Amazon. Oh, the big government is out, or the big companies, they're screwing us. They're not giving their work. What he's doing the same thing. He's using 16-year-olds from Egypt, paying them pennies on the dollar, and saying, "Oh, thank you for making me rich. I'm making hundreds of $1,000s off of you, literally peons," and they're all praising him for it.
Well, I mean, if he throws them a $2,000 check though, and they're a 16-year-old in Egypt,
No, I mean
they're probably
they're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're happy. But I'm guessing you like I said, he's got what, 10,000, almost 10,000
Whatever.
people paying,
Yeah.
and you're getting maybe 100 out of those that get something, and it's mostly the same people. So I mean, you've got a less than 1% success rate. So
It's a numbers game. It's like anything else. Final one before we go here. So we've got. This is actually a good cue. I like questions like this. I like these a lot. I usually learn something. What's one thing nobody tells you about buying a home until it's too late? First one says you can change your home, not the neighborhood. Or I would also add, will your neighbor? Is it possible that your neighborhood might change? I mean, think about people who bought 20 or 30 years ago, right? How much of your weekend becomes keeping up with chores? You're either mowing the lawn, finding someone to do repairs, planning renovations, or some other responsibility almost every weekend. Depends on the house. But yeah, I mean, that is a real, and that's a real thing.
especially on acreage.
What would you guys add to this?
Especially on well-maintained.
What would you guys add to this list?
Not something that happens with my clients per se, because I tell people, but there's a lot of agents who don't, and that's taxes will go up. after
That
you
first
buy.
year.
That first
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. Well,
Unfortunately, that's something that gets missed a lot, and it's something that unfortunately has priced people out of their homes. Like I said, I actually had a seller last year. Of course, I didn't sell them the property, but they called me up and they said, "Hey, you know, want a CMA?" And I'm like, "Hey, you guys just bought this last year. What's going on?" And they're like, "Well, it was a flip. Our agent didn't tell us that the taxes were going to go from, no joke, $2,500 to over $6,000."
Jeez.
And they're on a fixed. They were an older couple on a fixed income. They couldn't do it.
That's me. Uh-oh. Keep going.
No,
We're
you're
good.
So, I mean, they had to sell. They didn't have an option. It was, we can't make the payment anymore. Our taxes just jumped, and we can't afford it. So that's something that unfortunately more agents don't do correct.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they
it
get them
ends up-
capped, yeah.
and it ends up hurting the customer in the end.
This is a good one. It says, let me share my screen here. It says, as you start living in it, see, this XTSIN has perspective, I think. You will find things that were missed or not obvious during the viewing of your home or inspection. Everyone goes through this, and don't stress over it. It will cost money, but everything can be fixed, and you are not the only person who has gone through it. Your home will never be perfect. You will find happiness in it the longer you live in it and make it yours over time. It's not the home, it's the memories in the home you can look back on that you made in it. A cute flatworm says, "Oh my gosh, this is exactly what my partner says too." I hate that term. When my anxiety kicks in around this topic, and honestly, it works every time. I will say most things that happen in your house, aside from more catastrophic things like an active plumbing leak or furnace going out in the middle of winter, don't need to be fixed within a week. For example, upon moving into my new house, I found a couple low spots in the floor where the LVP is laid. The floor is over 10 years old. It's not going in real fast, so you can, make it a thing. I think that's great perspective. Jerry, what would you add to this list?
Nothing. I mean, I don't. I guess my mentality is I think of things before I buy it, right? So I don't get into something and be like, oh crap. Honestly, can you think of anything where I've ever?
What's one thing
done something?
nobody tells you about buying a home until it's?
Well, yeah.
I mean,
but
I
you're
tell my
unfortunately,
clients.
you're asking somebody who's been doing it for 30 some years.
I mean,
so.
One thing I personally would add. Hang on,
I've never had a client come back and say, Jerry, I wish you would have told me.
What's one thing no one tells you about a home until it's too late? I would
Replace your furnace filters.
Yeah, and put them in the right way.
That too.
Like 50% are backwards. Yeah.
Are you serious?
A lot of them are backwards.
People don't even
Yeah,
know.
Yeah.
Talking about that, we did a
They didn't see
habitat
an arrow.
All I know is like my Ron, who does the HVAC at the gym. He's like, bro, easily 50% of these that I come to service are backwards. They're installed backwards. So meaning the airflow direction is the arrows.
For those of you that didn't know. For those 50% of you that don't know.
Well, no, I mean, and this is just, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And that's why,
Yeah.
when we do the habitat builds, they tell us everybody who buys a Habitat for Humanity house has to go through a home buyer's course.
Yeah.
And why? They're like, we found that they've been lifelong renters. Their families were lifelong renters. None of them know how to do typical maintenance on a home,
Yeah.
and they don't know what needs to be done. They're like, we had furnaces 5 years later. They called saying the furnace wasn't working, and it's because they never changed the filter,
That's insane.
and they just didn't know.
I guess what you don't know, right? Well, that is it for today's episode, fam. We've covered a lot of territory. We covered mortgages. We covered a little bit in the Federal Reserve.
Trails of the Trench.
We covered trails of the
Joe.
of the trenches. Joe Cook. That is. I'm gonna be thinking about that.
Joe Cook,
I'm gonna be
honestly,
thinking
dude.
about that guy. And like.
I wanted to drive to his house. I wanted to forewarn him and be like, I don't care. Like, you're not going to talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
just-
I.
It wouldn't end good if I did something like that.
I'm just like, what type of miserable? How miserable is the dude?
Single. I mean, I don't know if he's ever been married.
Miserable enough. Okay. All right. Single. That's great.
He's 60 something.
I'm thinking happy,
Enough.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
We haven't brought that up in a couple of episodes, just for everybody to know.
That's how you're coping. Like there is not.
Put it on Jordan so everybody can see.
Oh, dude,
I hear it,
yeah,
Susan. It's
yeah.
all good.
There is, I don't know. I mean, I really enjoy being married. I can't imagine being single. However, make sure you marry the right person.
Amen.
Because
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Don't settle.
marrying the wrong person
Don't
is
settle.
hell on earth, from what I've seen. All right, you guys. Well, that's it for this episode of Keeping It Real Estate podcast.
Did we keep it
obviously-
real estate,
yeah,
though?
yeah. Keep it. Well, we're keeping it real on the podcast. So if you are looking for any down payment assistance, want to buy, sell, we can help you out. And as always, we'll see you guys next week.